me, but I know, change has gotta come.
Hey everybody, welcome back to For Every Reason Gifts with Kim and Lee. I'm Kim, and today I am going to be making a purple relaxed basket. These are items that Lee has gotten a bucket for or some kind of container, put the things that he thinks go best together or that he wants me to build a basket from. He puts them all in the basket, he lines them up for me, and then I just get them one by one and build them. So primarily the first thing I do is kind of go through the basket and see everything that he has put in the basket. I mean, sometimes he's right on the money, like, yes, all these things are going to work together. And sometimes I'm like, I'm going to need another piece. I'm going to need something bigger. I'm going to need, a different bear, that kind of thing. But for the most part, he's really good about how to put things together. I usually use a heat gun to take off my labels because I used to stand at the sink and like scrub with the scrub daddy and try to use Goo Gone and all that stuff, but I realized that just putting a little bit of heat on there and peeling off. I actually have a tool from my Cricut. It's a weeding tool that it lets you that you use with vinyl. And I use that weeding tool to take labels off, and it is fantastic. This body spa pillow we actually got from Dollar General, and some of the Dollar General tags just will not let me be great. As you can see here, I had to put a little heart over the $5 sign because it was not a sticker. It was actually imprinted onto the label. And I do want people to know that it is a spa pillow, so I don't want to take the label completely off. So I just put a little heart over top of it. And now the genius thing that Lee came up with is how to build this X base. So the structure for all of your baskets is crucial because you do not want your basket items to sink and slip down in there, especially if when you start moving them around. To transport them to your selling site. So we just take any box top flaps that I use from wrapping boxes. You basically cut one side, cut the other, and slide them together almost like an X puzzle piece. And here I am just fitting them in there, making sure that they fit together. Sometimes I will actually take tape and tape it down to the bottom of the basket. What this allows you to do is have a really nice structure to your basket. You use a lot less paper, a whole lot less paper doing it this way. I use newsprint, so I usually get like a 50-pound box of newsprint paper that I use to stuff baskets, and we were going through newsprint so fast. And I kept saying there's got to be a better way to work with these baskets to where we're not using all this paper or newspaper or flyers from different places and different stores. And so he came up with this, and it has been working fantastic so far. Then I'm taking a couple of more pieces of cardboard. I am taping them together to basically make a tabletop, kind of like a flat top, to be able to fit into or fit over top of the X base. So I'm wrapping it. I put a little paper inside. You see that was one piece of newsprint. Put that little piece of paper, wrap it around. I'll wrap that piece with another piece of newsprint and some tissue paper. And then sometimes, like a bucket this big, I'll usually tape the sides like to the basket so that flat piece won't move. Now, a lot of times these buckets, depending on what you're putting in the bucket, a lot of containers need to have some type of backer. I'm using a piece of foam core from Dollar Tree. I get one big piece. It's thicker than poster board, so it's not the poster board. It's actually called foam core board. And I'm using that. I cut it into 4 even rectangles, and I just use each rectangle So now that I've got everything set and complete, I can kind of start looking to see where do I want to place my items. So I'm kind of looking to see this Dr. Teal's Epsom salt is heavy. So I know I'm going to need some support for that. And a lot of my items are the exact same height, which you really can't have in a basket if you want to be able to see everything. So a lot of times I'll ball up paper, I'll ball up the newsprint and put tissue paper over top of it to make sure that I am able to give kind of a stair step effect so you can see everything. That's one of Lee's pet peeves. He's like, if you're going to receive a basket, and he does mostly the selling out on the streets, and he says the number one thing that people do is they look at a basket and they go, what all is in it? What all is in it? Well, they only really do that if they can't see everything. So they want to make sure that they're getting like their value or whatever you're asking for. So if you just take time and make sure that you're allowing the customer to see everything, you're not going to have to field so many of those same questions. So if you haven't seen my other video, I made a video about a heart plate where I used a candle from Dollar Tree. And I took the candle out of the box. So here's the box. And I told you before, save your boxes. They make excellent risers for just this kind of situation where you're going to need to make something high. So I'm taking a piece of butcher paper that I get from Sam's. You can also use this. It's a little stiffer than newsprint. Not as expensive as wrapping paper. It's probably $20 for a huge roll of it. And I'm basically just wrapping this box to make myself a little riser or a little stand for something to sit on. So what I found out is that Dove, which Dove is like liquid gold in Atlanta. If you put some Dove in your basket is going to sell. So I was happy to see that Lee put the purple Dove in here. Even though we have, the Dr. Teal's, and that's a brand name too, it's not like Dove, and it's not like those rose bears, which we got 50 million rose bears because he's in love with bears. So we got the Dove in there. I want people to be able to see that. I put the Dr. Teal's in front, making sure everything is taped down, secure. I got that really cute tape dispenser from Amazon. And if you want to know the exact link, let me know, and I will put the link in the description box. So I'm just making sure that the Dove, everything is secure, everything is lined up, because I do not want this basket to move. That Dove and that Dr. Teal's is heavy. So I'm kind of just looking to see. Now I found this sign. We got a lot of signs, and I'll pick them up. Like if I go to Dollar General, a lot of times they'll have sales. And signs are some of the last things to even be sold because people are like, what am I supposed to do with this? But as a basket maker, you always can use the sign. They make fantastic basket fillers. So if you can get them inexpensively, pick up signs. They make backers. They make great fillers. I'm putting a loofah in here. And I actually tape down the string to the platform that I built in the basket so that loofah won't bounce around and go anywhere. And then I should really only have a couple of more items that actually need to fit in here. Oh, so I must have I have a hole. I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm plugging that hole and I'm going like, oh, okay, so something needs to go down in that hole, and I forgot he had given me a lotion. So I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I can slide that lotion down. It'll fill that hole. All I need to do is use some glue dots, which if you don't get glue dots from Amazon, which you can, I usually buy them by the 1,000. You can quickly get them from Dollar Tree. They're balloon glue dots. I've seen them there and I use them. I really actually prefer the Dollar Tree brand. They're really good. So I am just making sure that that sign is put up to where you can see exactly what it says. And then I'm putting my Dove soap in there. that purple Dove soap from our wholesaler. Shout out to Yummy Tea Cakes. Her name's Tanisha. Visit her channel. She had great information about Atlanta wholesalers. Lee and I went. We gave our business license information, sales and use tax information, and they let us have an account. So we were able to get these bars of soap for maybe 50 cents, something like that, which is great. And then we got these little candles from, I think, Dollar Tree. We were just getting what we could that was purple. And then I'm just making sure it fits in that little space. And that's it, y'all. I mean, everything went together smoothly. The stuff that he had in the basket actually worked really well together. And I really liked how this turned out. When I looked to see like about how much stuff is in the basket, I think the Dr. Teal's was maybe $3. And that's the bag of Dr. Teal's. That might have been $1.50. The Dr. Teal's sleep set, that lavender box set, was from Walmart clearance, so I think we got that for $2.50 or $1.50. The Rose Bear came from Temu. I think the Rose Bear was probably $3 or $4. Dove itself, I think we got from Roses, the actual wash. Loofahs I'll get from Family Dollar, Dollar General, and usually just pay $1 for them. And then the sign I think we got on clearance at a Dollar General, so that was probably pennies on the dollar. Same thing with the spa pillow. I'm pretty sure I got that at like a 90% off, so that was probably about 50 cents. So when you really look at this basket, and the bucket itself was from Dollar Tree at $1.25. So when you really look at the cost that went into this basket, it's probably less than $10 to make this basket. And I will have to make a follow-up video to say like how much Lee's going to sell it for, because he always says that I don't price stuff high enough. And again, because he's the one out there on the streets actually doing the selling, he knows like, okay, I know what this basket's going to get. Once you put a bow on it, once you make it cute, then it goes for a lot more money on the street. So if you're not good at making bows, comment down below. Let me know if you want me to do a bow tutorial. Sometimes I think that that's what a lot of people struggle with, is making the cute bows. When you're getting a gift and giving a gift to someone, I think the bow has a lot to do with how people perceive the professionalism of the basket. So you can have a really well put together basket, and then if you don't have a cute bow and it looks like you just threw something up there, people are kind of like, okay, well, how did she cheap out on the best part? Like, the bow is the wow factor. So you definitely want to make sure that you get your bow game together. Here you can see I'm using 2 different types of ribbon. I get a lot of ribbon from a online company called Nashville Wraps. You can go to nashvillewraps.com and get ribbon. This is just going to be wired ribbon, not very much, and I get 50 yards at a time for probably about $12, which is a tremendous value. So I usually get bulk colors like red, white, pink, green, purple, colors that I know that I use all the time. And then like the sparkly ribbon, I get that at Sam's or Hobby Lobby. So I'll use a lot of the base color ribbon and then enhance it with a pattern or sparkle or something like that. And you'll see I'm just using twist ties. I'm putting the 2 together, twist tying them together to make like a compound bow. Now I have seen where people like put the basket in the bag, tie it up, and use the same twist tie to like tie their ribbon on. The thing about that though is if you have your ribbon like not already connected or already put together, when the person undoes the basket or undoes, the whole ribbon falls apart. And people like for whatever reason, they love beautiful bows, and people like to keep their bows. So I'll use curling ribbon. You can see right here I'm using curling ribbon, which is just the cheapest ribbon you can get. I'm using that to cover up the twist ties that I use to put the ribbons together, put the bows together, sorry. And then I'm going to use that curling ribbon to tie onto the basket. And then make sure you go through and do the dovetail or ducktail, whatever you call it, to the ends of all your ribbons. It gives it a more professional look. It doesn't have that straight cut across, and it doesn't have like a raggedy look. Fluff out your bow, and that pretty much is it. I'm hoping we can get probably $75 for this basket, and that's a $10 investment, less than $10 investment, and you make 6-7 times your money. That's a great investment. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.